Hello and welcome to another episode of Joseph the Techie. So I created this new tutorial series for any new beginner game developer who really wants to make a cool platformer or a cool space shooter or any of those cool games. So I'm going to take you from not knowing anything about Godot to creating a game, which this is how it looks. This should be our goal at the end of this tutorial series, so make sure you watch every tutorial so you don't miss out of this amazing platformer experience. We're going to be learning how to make animations, how to make jump, how to collide. We're also going to be looking about some pixel art. I'm not going to really go into it that much, but we are going to be going over some pixel art. But today, and only in this episode, we're just going to be looking about Godot in general. I'm going to be introducing you to some nodes, and probably the next video is about creating this amazing little player so a player could play with it. So, okay, let's get started. So when you open Godot, which you should have it installed on your system or downloaded. Godot you don't install, you just download. Link is in the description if you really want to go download it from its official website. So you're going to be greeted with this interface. Now don't be afraid, all these it's not necessary, it doesn't come with Godot, I just made them all. So if it's empty, then you're in good position and you're ready to start a new project. So go ahead and press new project, name it platformer, and make sure you have it in an empty folder. Now Godot wants that because it doesn't want to interfere with anything else. It just wants to create a whole new interface only for Godot, that game you're about to make. So go ahead and keep the settings. Now 2.0 is just for web games. It doesn't really use hardware acceleration, but it does 3.0's hardware acceleration if you want to make Windows games, Mac games, Linux games. So press go ahead and create and edit. Yeah, just give it a couple seconds and it should browse up. Now you will be graded with this very cool looking interface. Now I want to go over everything you need to know before you actually get to start making games. So up here you could see that 2D and 3D. You could switch between 2D and 3D, but right now we're just going to stick with 2D. Script, this is where you could access all your script. Right now we don't have any scripts. And asset library, we don't need that right now. We don't need it at all actually, so don't really press on it. But right now we're just going to be working with a 2D scene. Right here on the left, you have 2D scene, 3D scene, user interface. So user interface is basically if you want to create a menu, 3D scene, 3D game, and 2D scene, 2D game. Other node, this is if you want to create a player, an enemy, a ground, background, all these cool things. So we're going to go ahead and press 2D scene. Double click to rename and rename it main scene. Press enter and press save. Save that scene. Now, as you can see here, it created a new scene, which is our main scene, as the name says. So this scene, you don't really do anything in it. This scene is basically the bowl, and our little assets like the player, enemies, the ground are basically like spaghetti, and you need spaghetti in the bowl. And this main scene is the bowl, and we don't really cook the bowl, we just cook the spaghetti. You'll understand what I meant. I thought of it before I created this video, so don't really bother me with that. Okay, so I'm gonna introduce you to some nodes. So right here, I forgot to tell you guys, right here is where you could create a new node or a child node. First, we're going to look at kinematic body 2D. Now this is if you want to create a ball, a player, anything that basically moves. Right here, so whatever is in red, that's 3D, and whatever is in blue, that's 2D. Right now we're kind of looking at the 2D, so yeah, that's it. So kinematic is moving, and then static is not moving. So basically ground and stuff. We could still add animation, but we cannot move it, say, with the arrow keys and stuff. And last but not least, animated sprite right here. This is if you want to add a player that can move and do cool looking animations, and animation player. So don't confuse animated sprite with animation player, because animation player is basically, say you want to create a cinematic scene that shows, say, the boss coming into the game or into the scene, but it's not really actually affecting the player. Therefore, you're going to use animation player. But say you want to create a walking sprite, you're going to use animated sprite. So that's all the scenes we want. The nodes we are going to be using in this tutorial series. And first, I want you to go before any project. Literally, this is, I wish I knew this when I started. So you're gonna go and project settings. So you're gonna go to input map, and from here you're just gonna write up, down, right, left. What I did is added new keystrokes that will be easier when we start Godot scripting. So once you have them, you gotta scroll all the way down and press this cross symbol, press key, and press in the key down S. Right now we're going to be using the WASD keys since we are going to be using the mouse in this game. Speaking of mouse, I forgot to do a click, which we are going to do D, and left will be A. And right here we're going to add a click, and we're going to do a mouse button left. With all that set up, we have completely set up our platformer, and we're gonna ready to start making our first player appear on the screen. Now that's in the next tutorial. See you guys then.